Welcome to Michael Cole Live, episode 246. We are still in search of the awesome sauce. And believe me when I tell you, we have found some tonight, my friend. Yvanna Cosme. She was, Kim Light Pearson blew in my ear and told me all about Yvanna. She is at Salon 1 in Boda, Texas. I always misspell it. I always get that part wrong. Solano's Rebecca. Thank you, Rebecca, for allowing us to have this Yvanna on our show tonight. And the coach is Kim Light. Kim Light Pearson, who I think now has 2 kitty cats, so her life is on fire. Let me tell you why I invited Yvanna to the conversation tonight. That 24 years old, average service ticket, when you compare the service ticket to her haircut price, she is very much in the game. The overwhelming majority of her guests get way more involved in her work than a haircut, so she's really in the color game. Referrals, a triple-digit referral maker in a 365-day window of time. Rebooking currently at 77%, and RTS is 13 points. I'm not going to take anything away from her story, but in a nutshell, here's her timeline. Graduates from high school in 14, does a little bit of college. I'll let her tell you about that. 2016, graduates from hair school, enrolls in the associate program. 2019, kind of on the back end of that year. First full year as a stylist, she goes from level 1 to level 4. I mean, that's like, this is called blowing the charts, right? And she is trending, she was trending 78, 80,000 in 2020. So from, 35 to 80, she will, and that 35 was like a half a year. So her first full year technically was last year, and she was just this side of 80. She'll crack 100. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I haven't seen that before. That's why after the show, I'm going to email Guinness Book of World Records, see if I can get her on that. If you are not following her on Instagram, I would suggest it's Yvanna Cosme Hairstylist, and you'll know you're there. I'll take you there tonight to show you some of her really cool stuff going on in highlights. And she's in the game with grids and reels and IGTV, so she's there. She's in my green room now. I'm going to bring her out. I want to get her talking a little bit about her story, because her story is amazing. And then while we have her here, we're going to see if I can get her to share a little bit of her secret sauce. So yeah, I think you're going to really enjoy the conversation. Here we go. We're going to get her now. We're going to unmute Yvanna, and you are going to make her feel welcome. Would you please, you guys?
Hey, y'all. How are you guys doing?
Good to have you here. Thanks for coming. I know it was a big day for you.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you. Well, Yvanna, I want to get right to it, but we always love to start with the story, because the story gives us vision and inspiration and hope. And yours is an extra special story, because you were not born and raised in Texas, so I won't give that away. So catch us up to your life. Who are you, and what got you from where you were to where you are now?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm Yvanna Cosme. I'm from Puerto Rico, and I arrived to Texas in 2019. The reason why I arrived to Texas was because of Hurricane Maria. 8 months after my boyfriend first moved, he said that I had to try it out. And I just took a big leap of faith, left everything I had for a chance of something amazing, right? And I definitely got that chance. I'm so lucky that I took that leap of faith. So when I arrived to Texas, I really didn't have absolutely anyone here. I arrived to this small town in Buda, and it was just me and him, right? So I had my cosmetology license from Puerto Rico, but I really needed to transfer it, and I didn't know where to go, what to do. So I just had a normal job. I was a front desk agent in a hotel, And I did that from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Um, right after that, a couple months passed away, and I really started missing doing hair. And I wanted to figure out how I wanted to, like, get my license in Texas. So I just started like seeing where am I gonna go and what I'm gonna do. But I kind of like went through the depression lane because of it, because I, didn't know anyone basically. I had to figure it out myself. So I just said, okay, so while we do that, let me just have a second job, so I can have some savings. And then when I get my license, I'll go and rent a chair somewhere. And with those savings, I'll get by while I get my clientele. That's what I was thinking, right? Couple months after that, I just started feeling overwhelmed, and I really miss doing hair a lot. So I just took a leap of faith again, left all my jobs, and just applied to Salon 112, which was the salon in Buda that caught my eye. It was beautiful. I loved their website. I loved their community. I kind of like scrolled down Main Street and checked it out a couple times, that I was actually scared because I already was like, 9 months out of the game. I really didn't have much experience in Texas, and I was just scared, period. Right after that, I just applied, submitted my resume, and after I did that, I also went in person and handed my resume, just so that they can have like everything, online, on paper, on all the channels. And at that moment, I was actually working those two jobs still. I was working from 7 to 3 in the hotel, and then from 5 to 1:30 in the morning in the IRS, just because in my mind, I was thinking, well, I know absolutely no one in Texas. I have no clients. I need to at least secure an amount of money. And the only way that you can get money is by working a lot, just so that when I rent out a chair, I can live out of those savings. I never thought that I was going to go through, I never even knew what a summit salon was, what an associate program was. Really, I just thought of the worst, right?
Yeah.
And right after that, when Rebecca actually called me and told me that she was ready to meet me and offer me a career opportunity, I was super excited, but I was super nervous because I still didn't know anyone. I still didn't have any clients. So she just told me about the associate program and how am I slowly going to like get involved in what is going to like restarting my career again in Texas. And it sounded very good. I was, a little apprehensive at first because I was like, I'm not going to be an associate. I have experience. I'm a stylist. I have a license. But then after I learned about the process, and I just let her guide me through, I am so grateful that I went through that process, right? So I just, made the decision to start over and gave myself permission to do so too.
Wow.
The best decision ever.
So, what a great, there was a whole bunch of golden nuggets in your share. One is, to leave your country of origin and come here, and then how hard you worked before you decide to enter into the salon business. And what I thought was really interesting is it sounded like you were on the website at Salon 112, and you were on their social media place. It wouldn't surprise me if you even Googled them or Googled great salons in the area. And today, that's the kind of the new way that, a stylist, it's almost like they interview the salon before the salon interviews them. And then all of a sudden you go there, she tells you the story, you see the vision at first. It's like, okay, what's this associate stuff? I'm a hairdresser. You kind of get off of that, and all of a sudden, the nitroglycerin is poured on the fire. You get through the associate program. You fly from 1 to 4. I think all of that happened in 2020. And by the way, we're in the middle of a pandemic. And now you're, what are we, 6 weeks into the new year, almost 6 weeks, and you're trending 6 figures on a W-2. So that's right up there with unbelievable.
I know. It's you say it and it's almost like I can't believe it myself, but I actually went through that. It
Yeah.
actually happened.
What
Uh,
what's it like to be you now? Like you like you're in a different place now than you were a year, never mind 2 3 years ago. Like you're in a it's almost like a stratosphere that we can only imagine what that's like. But in a nutshell, how has this changed you? How has it changed your lifestyle? Because a lot of people watching this are going, "Oh my God!" I mean, you're even blowing up my my little news feed. Somebody's saying, "I'm going to go to a summit salon."
okay, so what's it like now and compared to a year before? Number one, I am not sad. I am not fearful. I am absolutely in charge of my life in a way that I have systems in place to where I like slowly go and know what to do behind the chair and at home too. Um, I really am grateful and happy that I went through that process because I wouldn't be able to appreciate what I have right now if I didn't have to work really hard for it. I'm grateful that also, I get to work with my dream clientele. The clients that visit my chair are amazing. They let me create, which was what I wanted to do when I was in the IRS computer or in the front desk. I was like, oh my God, this is exhausting. I just want to do some color, you know? um, I feel like a champion. I really do. And I feel like everyone around me inspires me to keep being better and to keep achieving my goals, especially in the salon, because everyone is amazing. It's a great culture. And I really do feel secure too because of the scripts and the systems that Summit has provided to me. Um, if any of y'all know me or get to know me at some point, I am like a firecracker. Like I'm a little hurricane. Rebecca called me like, oh my gosh, girl, you came in with all these energy, right? So I needed the systems and I needed the procedures, like an organization to like put all this energy in and actually channel it in the way and the steps that are gonna get me into what I wanted, which is level jumping. So it was so important for me to just let myself and allow myself to guide, like for my mentors to guide me through. My team leaders, especially my educators, which were Rebecca and Daisha, and also take what I had, what
Right.
kind of made sense to me, and put it in practice on the phone
Right.
and also behind the chair.
Somebody
Because
just.
I really, oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
So because I really didn't know anyone in Texas, I had to do social
Right.
media.
Yes.
That was also the number one thing that I had to do in order to like get to where I am now.
Yeah, I mean, if as I crawl your Instagram page and I look at your highlights and what you have going on in your highlights, I'm actually looking at your page now. That I can see where you really are taking advantage of social media in general, but specifically Instagram, from highlights to grids to you've got some stuff going on IGTV. You got some stuff going on in Reels. So you got all the bases covered. I had somebody that just a friend that's comes to the program a lot, Pamela, saying, "Are you trending 100,000?" She was curious. Are you working with an associate yet, or is that doing that by yourself at this point?
It is by myself at this point. I still have not had the chance to have an associate. We were trying actually to get into the summit this February, but it was already full. So I'll just go next class. But I can't wait to have an associate. I really can't.
I love it. So where do you go from here? What's next?
Well, I really want to become an educator in the salon. That's for sure. Just because I really want to let the next generation or whoever is getting out of cosmetology school know that it's absolutely possible to live a beautiful, well-balanced, a well monetary paid life behind the chair that is not like what people tell you, like, oh, you're barely gonna get by, or oh, you really need clients for that, and all these other things, because it's still like that stigma, right? And also, I will be moving into my home. That's a big step. I
Wow.
will be moving into my home, my first home. We actually bought it and started building it in March 2020 when the salon was closed, actually, because the salon was closed for 2 months. And I'm going to be moving there in 6 weeks. And
So wait a minute.
yeah,
You're building a new home, as in
yeah.
like you bought a property, or did you buy a pre-existing home, nuke it, and building on top of that, because you're only 24. I mean, that's a
Yeah.
big deal.
Yeah, it's a super big deal. So we bought a lot and we're building it actually. So I got to see the foundation, the frame, everything. And I'm like, oh, look, my house is level 1 now. And now it's a level 4 and about to be a level 5. But
So,
yeah, it's amazing actually. I never thought that I was going to buy my first home and that I was actually going to like select how's it gonna look outside, or I don't want this color, and be all like selecting stuff. It's actually an amazing feeling, and I'm so humbled about it right now. But oh my God, I am just so excited that
well,
this is what the
we
future
we
holds for me.
we could spend the next hour or so just like doing a whole documentary on your life, because it's very inspiring. But I want to pivot and get you to share. You're doing some really interesting things between what you're doing in real time behind the chair with your guests, what you're doing on Instagram, and one of the things that you were telling me about in your it's almost like your the first tablespoon of secret sauce is virtual consultations. Tell us about what that is to you and how you're using it to like to go from 1 to 4, from 35 to 80,000 to 100,000 virtual consultations. What do you mean by that?
So remember when we were on the lockdown and everything was closed and you just needed to stay home? A lot of people were like, okay, so how do we go from here? Like, how do we continue? The show must go on. Virtual consultations was what really like popped everywhere because everything was virtually, like doctor visits, etc. It's so important because it's good for you and for the guests. The guests relieves their anxiety of meeting this new person that is going to touch their hair, that is going to cut it, put color on it. And even if their Instagram looks amazing, like, am I going to be that person that she's going to mess up with? So she's going to like know your personality, know your vibe. She also get a chance to price quote her, and that just really gives her a very her or him, right? The like the security that
Mm.
okay, I'm going to my appointment more or less, but I'm sitting, I know more or less time, and I'm going to be there. And the stylist, since she has such good knowledge on science, product, whatever. And then the stylist, you also don't get the surprise of having this company that you probably didn't schedule the correct time frame for on your books. When you see her hair on the virtual consultation, for example, oh my God, this is gonna take me more than usual.
Right.
Also, this is the way that you can build your books on a very secure way. And just meet the person, talk to them about reality versus expectations and all these other things that we just know how to do consultations because we're all stylists. Also, like, it just, I just feel that mainly it prepares them for the appointment and prepares you too. So you're like more secured. I just feel
Yeah.
like security.
Well, what what
Like
what
it's
you're saying is really a brand new, and it's like the virtual consultation is something that we're doing online, but it's done before the guest comes in. It's like the pre-visit, so there's a new reality, a new opportunity that you're innovating it, you're pioneering it, and you've jumped into the deep end of the pool, and you're taking it to a whole new level. When you have a virtual consultation, what are you using for a platform? Like your mobile? Is it? Do you call? Is it FaceTime? Is it how are you getting that? Is it just done in IG messaging? Because there's a lot of variations on this.
Yeah. So I prefer FaceTime calls. I do not own an iPhone, but I do have WhatsApp. And I tell my clients, hey, this is a free app. You can download it and let's video chat. If they're like not okay with that, they're like, can I actually call you? For sure. Let's just do a phone call. Or if they're more of like, a millennial or someone that just likes to text, they're like, okay, let me just text you. And then actually, I use my story highlights on Instagram. And I have a highlight that says virtual consultations. And in that highlight, it says, please send a picture of your hair, of your, what you're wanting to get done, a history. So like the information that I need. And then that even makes the virtual consultation even narrower or more faster. And in that way, the client already knows what we're gonna like talk about and what do I need. Yep, that's the one.
So you actually have a tutorial on your highlight that explains how you're going to do a virtual.
Yep, and then on the next slide it says, please contact me through WhatsApp or DM or text messaging. I give them their options.
Yeah.
And I also tell them, allow me 2 days to get back to you. I usually take less than 2 days, but just in case.
And then you've got also another option called you can book online.
Yep. Yeah. The salon has a link that you could just book your appointment in, and I just walk people through how do you do it. Like first, you select your provider, then you select your service, then you select your date, your time, because we believe that everyone knows how to do this, but not everyone is so tech savvy.
Right.
And you need to go ahead and make it as easy as possible for your client to get to your chair. And that actually brings me to my second point on creating a funnel.
Yeah, that's your second point is you say create a funnel. Funnel, what do you mean by that?
So funnel is, and actually it's very easy now that I understand it. But at first I was like, create a funnel. What is that? Like literally. So it's just a way of, I see it like this. You have your funnel, right? And there's this client and you just need to get her on the books. That's all you need. Get her on the books, right? And I just need the visual. Okay. So it's really about taking advantage of the opportunity to get that client or that follower into your schedule. And the way that you do it is like this. They either shoot you a text message like, hey, I'm actually seeing your work for a while, and I wanted to say like, how much is a balayage? That typically is the question, how much? But it's not actually that easy. I'm like, hey, thank you for reaching out. That's the first step of the funnel. Thank you for reaching out. I would be delighted to do your hair. Please send me a picture of your hair, this and that, this and that. Like I put on the highlight, or I actually send them the highlight so that they already have that information. After that, they're like, oh yeah, absolutely. They send me all their information. After I have that information, the second step is schedule a virtual consultation. So what day or time you're available to chat via video, just so that we can like see each other and talk more about the process. After you set up that date, and you talk to them and you have that virtual consultation, goes the third and most beautiful step. Please go online and schedule for your service this time, this date. Actually, on the virtual consultation, I would have my Envision app with me, and I would be like, oh, look, it looks like I have an opening Saturday at 10 a.m. Does that work for you? Yes. Okay, beautiful. Then go online and let me know if everything is beautiful, if you see this time and date slot. Oh yeah, I see it. I actually also tell them the fourth step, let me know when you book, because sometimes, they receive a text message or a phone call and they forget. And I want to make sure that they are, actually booking that slot. If not, I'm going to offer it to the next guest. The majority of the times they're like, yay, I booked. They send me a screenshot. They post it on their stories, like getting my hair done with Yvanna on Saturday. So excited. And that's the funnel that you create in order to turn that follower into a client.
Wow. Now, the funnel, the 5-step funnel, promise me right now that you're going to text me those 5 steps in a funnel, and then what I'll
All
do
right.
is I'll post it on my Facebook page, my Instagram page. I'll link you, but I've never heard this process shown as a funnel, and in the process, virtual consultations were never in any process. So you basically have reinvented or reimagined a new process that really complements this age that we find ourselves in called the digital age. So promise me you'll do that.
I will. And actually, I saw this funnel thing on on a live class, on a Zoom class that is not for stylists. So it's so important that we like continue educating ourselves with whatever, because everything right now has to be like online. And like I feel like you can learn a lot from all these different like areas of study. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that this funnel technique I learned from a oh my gosh, from a coach, that she's trying to teach other coaches
Yeah.
how to gain
Right. Yeah.
like clients, like life coach, a life coach that teaches how
yes.
to get clients.
The idea of funnel is used all over the place, and you just made it work in this line. So here's the deal. All of a sudden,
Yeah.
Pamela Udall is saying, AMC, put the funnel in your new book, and I'm going, no, we'll put Yvanna in the new book. It'll have a chapter, and inside of that chapter, we'll have the funnel, the 5-step. So that'll be the
Yay.
deal. That you and I will dance that way, and then that we can bring it to the world in that way. So what do you think about that?
I think that's awesome. I'm up for that.
I love it. Now, last but not least, I want to get you talking a little bit about how you're turning, and this is a big, 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 big issue, the followers on your Instagram page into clients, because most of the pages have more followers than clients, and because the followers aren't clients, when people post, they get 1 or 2 likes and then they get embarrassed. They don't know that the more clients you have in your page, the more engagement you're going to get.
Right. Okay. So turning followers into clients. This really comes with engagement. This really comes with the idea of speaking their language. And this really comes with the idea of branding yourself towards your dream clientele. If you do that, if you imagine that dream client in your chair, like Rebecca once told me, like imagine what a perfect day in the salon for you is, how that client looks, where does she work, how does she wear her hair, and then build content for her, because that's what you want, right?
Yes.
So once you do that, like you do it using various apps for branding, like Canva or even Instagram, Facebook, just creating content that is going to speak their language. And with the followers that you have, it's okay. I started out with 125 followers. That's it. I never imagined that I would be at 1,000. So most importantly, is watching who is reacting to your content, right? Sometimes I would get my own clients do a like or a comment, but then the followers that follow my clients look at their picture. Oh my God, you got your hair done so amazing. I would love to get my color like that. I would respond to that person that is not even my follower. Right. Hey, thank you so much. I would love to have you in my chair. Also, like the real way of doing it is always posting when do you have openings, what's your availability, what you're doing behind the chair. Not only the beautiful hair that is done and is glowing on your feed, but your stories are so important. The day by day. Here's how I mix lightener, or here's the before, or here's how I tone the hair. And also to post consistently. And that just helps with the algorithm engaging, putting your page out there. I also use all the social media platforms I can to post my content in. There's a lot of groups, for example, on Facebook that are open to the public that let you promote your services. You need to be posting on those groups. You don't need to be ashamed that you have little followers, that only 20 people like your picture. You know what? That person loves your work and she's going to book with you. So you just need to speak their language and just put content out there for your dream client. That's how you brand yourself. With
Well,
like thinking about, okay, this is what I want to do day by day. I know I love redheads. I know I love balayage. I love blondes. My thing is color. I love vivids. So that's mainly what I do. That's why I have my hair like this, you know. Also because I like purple. It's my favorite color. But it's just what you do.
so let me ask you a question.
Uh-huh.
How is like how did you learn all of the ins and outs on social media? Because as I listen to you, you have a subtle but profound understanding of how you use social media to really blow up your clientele, from funnel to, especially, turning followers into clients. Like, did you just kind of figure that out intuitively, or were you at any classes and you got some ideas, or is it a
Oh
little bit
yeah.
of both?
It's a little bit of both. Like first trial and error, I would say. I was like posting, but I knew that wasn't enough. I wasn't getting the results that I wanted. So I just searched for help. And on Instagram, there's so much help. Like everyone is with you. I follow so many stylists that are also content creators that have also taken out of their schedule to teach other stylists these absolute things. Like, hey, this is how you do this and this and this. So it's so important that you go and look for resources. For example, on your search on Instagram, just put content creators for hair. And you might see a lot of people that are inspiring to you, that like speak your language, that make it easy for you. And you just kind of like copy them in a way without losing your essence, right? I also like to follow a lot of stylists in my area, like from Austin to San Antonio, and see what they're doing, what times they're posting, what hashtags they're using, what location, how they angle their client. Like I literally, I feel like I'm saying like I'm kind of a stalker, but I'm not a stalker. Like I'm just observing. I'm using social media to my favor. I'm kind of like learning how to influence because I'm being influenced with what I follow, right? And kind of copy pasting with my essence
Wow.
on there. Yeah.
So I just, we are going way over. We never go way over, but this was really worth the tutorial. Was really worth the time that we spent on it, because I get this sense. And you and I were chatting, I think, a day ago, where I said, you're like a real young millennial, and if I didn't know any better, like a senior zennial, like a zennial millennial, like right the and so you speak the language of social. You're very much in the digital age. You intuitively learn. You're in communities online where other people, you're learning from other people, and it's empowered you to go from 1 to 4 in year one, and then $100,000 in a W-2 in year two. So it's amazing. So here's the last. I'd like to ask you. I asked you two favors tonight. One is that if you send me the funnel, we'll get your story crafted. I'll put you in my new book. And then number two, you have got to promise me you'll come back for an encore during this year, because I think you've got this gigantic bonfire going, and you're just going to keep finding new forms of nitroglycerin to pour on the fire. And I want to have you back to keep up with that.
I will absolutely come back.
All right, great. Well, thank you very, very, very much for being on my program with me tonight. My classroom is full. You're getting lots of love. Your family, I think your father's watching, your mother. You've got some extended
That's
family
my
watch.
fan club.
Yeah, and so they're sending you love, and they're saying that they're very proud of you, and that it's going really, really well. So thank you very much, my friend, and we're going to give it up for you one more time.
Thank you. Have an awesome night, everyone.
I'll be in touch with you, and we'll talk more about your funnel.
Sounds good. Okay.
Bye now.
Bye.
Whoop. Give it up for her one more time. You guys, I don't know. I think we made history tonight. That not only did we have somebody that, you know, hey, level 1 to level 4 in year 1, going to crush 6 figures in year 2. We really got, and I just loved her soul. I loved her spirit. I loved her. I can tell that she loves what she's doing. She loves who she's doing it for. She's just, there's just a lot of life coming through her. Just a great soul. But Yvanna talked about, I just loved how she's taken virtual consultations are now part of her process. And the different ways she's doing it. She's not getting trapped in any one way. And then I love the funnel. And I've heard the funnel in many other kind of digital marketing and branding, sales businesses, but she took it and she's taken it and she's making it work for behind the chair. It's like, you know, an idea, the insight is profound when you do one of these, you know, smack yourself on the crown and go, oh, that's so simple. Why didn't I think of that, right? And so it's just a brilliant, and I'm going to hang out with her, get her to send her, and we'll put her story in the book so that you'll have that resource. And then the biggie, that she was talking about all the different ways that she turns her followers into clients. And I can't, on a daily basis, I'm talking to people that they go, well, I post and I only get 1 or 2 likes and it's embarrassing. And then we go to their page and we go, well, I know, but you've got like 300-400 followers and you only have like 5 clients. So if you post, of course you're only going to get 1 or 2 likes. The more clients that are on your page, the more likes you're going to get. And whenever they like your content, all of a sudden some of their followers are going to see what they're liking. So she's got it figured out. She's very intuitive. She's one of those intuitive geniuses, and she's making it work. So we're going to stay real close to Yvanna because she's done such a wonderful job. Give it up for her one more time. You're on Michael Cole Summit, Facebook. This is Facebook Live. But if you key in, all of my handles take you to the platforms the social media platforms online, where we're talking Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, now TikTok. I'll do a shameless plug. I'm really getting into it. As a matter of fact, I'd like you to go and follow me on TikTok. I need 1,000 followers before I can go live on TikTok, and I'll be talking more about that as well. All of my interviews, we cook them down into a micro learning, like Yvanna's will be cooked down in a 5 or 10 minute micro learning, and we'll put that on my IG channel. And now we're using Reels, and we're taking 30-second sound bites and putting it on Reels and TikTok. So you can see that we're growing with it and evolving with it as well. So hang out with us there. A website called summitsalon365.com. All of our production value video is going there. More our video courses, and I've got a very strong presence on that platform where I continue to put production value, my own content on there. So it's a subscription site. It's a nominal fee, but hang on to that, because that's we would call that content on steroids, because it's really, really, really fine-tuned. Hang out on summitsalon.com for all of our resources. We now have a lot of online coaching going on. Call for a 30-minute complimentary virtual consultation on that. All of our apps, our tracking apps, our Magic Day calculators are there. And you always see me wearing another type of, call them tattoos, mctattoo.com. It's a non-profit that all of the proceeds that we generate here go to literacy, children's literacy, and then people that are recovering from addiction. So it's a good cause. If you like what I'm wearing, go hunting on that as well. So great night tonight. We always, always, always say that we're powered by L'Oreal Professional Products Division, because without their support, we couldn't bring you content. We don't call this content free. We call it, it's compliments of the people, the company, the brands that power us. So you can see they're up here. Matrix and Balayage and Mazzani and Pope Riot, Essie, Kerastase, Purology, Redken, L'Oreal Professional, and Shoe. Support those brands. When you support those brands and your clients support those brands, it all comes back in a real good way. It's one of those for the good of all and the harm of none. So thank you for them as well. This is a great night tonight, you guys. I'm going to ask you to do one more thing for me, and that would be to go to TikTok, Michael Cole Next on TikTok. Follow me there, only because I really would love to get 1,000 followers so that I can take advantage of TikTok. Just launched a live format like Facebook. So if you come hang out with me, you can hang out with me there. I'd love to go live, but I can't get access to that until we have 1,000 followers. So please do that. Okay, big night. Rebecca saying for recognizing Yvanna. You're very welcome, Rebecca. It was a wonderful show, and thanks for hanging out. And we'll see you all. And Antonio saying thank you for having my daughter, and thank you, MC, for having my sister. Got the whole fam damn on Facebook Live tonight, expressing their gratitude. Well, you're very welcome, my friend. Your daughter, sister, brilliant. She's welcome to come hang out anytime, and we're going to put her in a new book that I'm getting ready to launch as well. So wonderful evening. I'm going to let you all get back to your evening and your dinner, and we will see you when we see you. See you in class.